I'm Lon Anderson, Managing Director of Public and Government Relations for AAA Mid-Atlantic. We're very concerned about transportation financing in Maryland, and frankly, serving on the Blue Ribbon panel as I am, the presentations we have had have clearly indicated that we have a huge funding crisis in transportation. Frankly, we have a lot of bridges and roads that are substandard because the state does not have the money to maintain them. And our capital improvements program right now is a joke. It's basically a bunch of zeros. There are no new projects that were initiated this year anywhere in the state of Maryland. And most of the projects we've got are being zeroed out in the out years because there's no money to accomplish them. That's outrageous, and it certainly won't allow Maryland to compete well with surrounding states in the future. And it means that that congestion that we know almost worst in the nation in Washington and fifth worst in the nation in Baltimore, we're not doing anything about that. And that's causing pain every day for hundreds of thousands of motorists in the Washington area and in the Baltimore area. We need to be aggressively addressing what we're going to do about that congestion. This requires a lot of money. Maintaining the roads, improving the roads, maintaining and improving mass transit, huge amounts of money, and basically Maryland's transportation coffers are empty right now for any of that. So AAA Mid-Atlantic has taken a very strong stance. We have emailed our nearly 900,000 members. We've asked them for their support. They haven't, thousands of them have in fact emailed members of the legislature saying we need, one, to protect the Transportation Trust Fund, and two, enhance transportation revenues. It's a tough thing to ask right now given the economy, which is still recovering, and given soaring gas prices. But we think it's necessary, and we realize that the provisions in this bill that would increase the gas tax don't kick in to July 2013. So we've got a couple of years before they would actually kick in. We think that's a very important point. But we also think that the provision in this bill that would require protection of the trust fund and particularly a constitutional amendment to protect the trust fund is extremely important. Right now there's almost $1 billion that has been raided from the Transportation Trust Fund, mostly to the local jurisdictions, and has not been repaid. And in addition, this year's proposed budget from Governor Martin O'Malley proposes to raid another $100 million from the trust fund to be spent on nothing having to do with transportation. If we are going to ask the residents of Maryland, the motorists of Maryland, to pay more to drive, then we owe it to them to ensure that the money that they're being taxed for transportation is spent on transportation.